Welcome all to Crypto and Chill. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and with me as always on Tuesdays and Fridays, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is Jeff, aka the Blockchain. How's it going, brother?
Going good. Had a great weekend. Went had a little barbecue on Sunday with some friends and a little cookout yesterday with my aunt and uncle. So a lot of good food. And yeah. Oh man, and seeing David getting the music going too. Oh shit,
dude,
that sounds so good.
Dude, I'm not that huge into music. It's just, I listen to it and stuff, but it's like for some people like you and, I think David and a lot of people, it's just a part of your life. There's a lot of people that are really into music. Like I don't care about going to concerts, stuff like that. But I'll be honest. It's not just because it's ours. It just, David did a really good job, with the AI and stuff like that, generating the music. And I actually live streamed it earlier because I was getting some work done and I was listening to it anyway. So I was just like, hey, you know what? Because when he uploaded it directly to YouTube. He didn't do it through StreamYard. So it didn't go to X. It didn't go to like all the different accounts. So I was like, fuck it.
Share the screen and all that.
I just shared the screen, blew it up so it was like my entire screen, and just let it run for a couple hours before he did the market wrap up. And I was just getting some work done and stuff. So yeah, no, dude, it again already has a shit ton of views, and so people are enjoying it.
I saw that. It was pretty impressive. I saw when it was live. I'm like, damn, there's like 20 people listening to it.
There's like almost 200 people just on YouTube that's watched it so far. And it was like a couple hours ago.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I'm glad people are enjoying it. But do you want to introduce the socials and we'll get into this?
Yeah, let's do it. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody! Here at the Node Network. Oh, we finally got it changed. The Node Net. Nice.
I've tried and I've tried. They will not let me call it the Node Network. So I called it the Node Net. It's
close enough. We got the Node Network. We have a host of shows throughout the week for your viewing and listening pleasures. And now music, we're getting a lot of music added. So that's going to be fun. Live streaming. But the Node main show Monday. What?
We got the morning show that you're about to talk about. We got your deep dive show. We got Sovereign Soil. It's all about emerging. Anyway, you're going to go get into it.
Yeah, and I was talking to my aunt and uncle about it yesterday because they were like, "Yeah, you guys have a lot of stuff that you're offering. Is that like?" And between the three of us, we have a lot of different interests and skill sets.
We're a very diverse group. Like if you know the backgrounds of each, all three of us, you're like, how did these guys freaking link up? You got a hardware engineer that lives in the Bay Area that's a DJ. You got a retired vet that lives. I'm a stereotype. I'm a retired vet that lives in the woods. And shoots guns. And then you got David, who's again an ex-addict that. Basically, well, he's been clean forever, and but no, it's just he's a highly successful trader. He makes his entire living off of trading, and in his background is he has a really interesting background. I don't know how much of it he wants me to share, so I'm not going to. But
he spent time in healthcare too. So
no, he has. I'm trying to just stick to the stuff that he's already, kind of told everybody. So, it's like I don't want to, dox him, more than he, already has himself. But
interesting mix.
No, we got a very interesting mix.
Yeah, and it really lends well to this channel because, like you said, you and David have the Node Morning Show, just
Mm-hmm.
interviews, education, news,
Well, the
Monday
format
through
we
Friday, 9 a.m.
well we actually solidified the format. So we're doing news first, and then in the second hour we're doing two deep dives. We're sticking to just doing two deep dives, and it's basically going to be the projects that we feel like are doing well at the time, and so that people understand why. Not necessarily to chase the narrative, but just to if something's moving, explain to people. It's like, hey, this is what's going on with it. This is the tokenomics. This is the fundamentals. This is the use cases. And it's just, this channel is pure education. Right? Like we always say, we're not influencers. We're trying to be educators. And our community, educates us as much as we educate them. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's not a lot of people that do deep dives into this stuff. It's just usually like news or technical analysis. But
oh, dude, David's building that repository, the library for our website that has all the deep dives, so the videos, the slide presentations, all of it is going to be in a library that people can go to and watch. It'll be part of DeFi University.
And I meant to tell you about that. He mentioned to me when we were up there, when we were hanging out, when you went to go inside on Sunday to
when you guys stayed and chilled by the creek.
Yeah, he asked me, or he told me, you should do like those deep dive, make those deep dive videos on the projects that I cover. And so I started doing that. So I'll be able to put those in our repository as well. So all the stuff that I cover on the blockchain report will be, have those deep dive videos and slide decks with it. So yeah, we're going to be adding that. So a lot of good stuff, man, on any project. But yeah, that's the blockchain report. So those segments are right after the morning show at 11 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then this episode, Crypto and Chill, Tuesday and Friday, 5 p.m. And Mike Sovereign Soil, Emergency Preparedness show on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Yeah, those, man. Yeah, almost over 800 views the last one we did.
No, dude, it's freaking. And I actually have an interview coming up. An old buddy of mine. His brother was actually my old group commander when I was in the SF unit. And
you finally getting him on?
Well, my buddy, I was on the ski patrol with him, but he is a firearms instructor and came up with this shooting, like I don't even know what to call it, like a curriculum or a course. But he claims, and by the clients that he gets, that he can turn anybody like somebody who's not a shooter into a very highly proficient shooter in a couple of weeks. And so I'm going to have him on to have him talk about the program. But he's had government 3-letter agencies, have him come and put people through the course, and it's pretty interesting. So anyway, I'm going to have that on Sovereign Soil here coming up.
Oh, hell yeah. No, I remember you talking about him before, and I was really excited to, hear more from him. And yeah, that's really cool.
He's just super freaking busy. He's like highly successful, entrepreneur, dude, and so yeah, he's traveling a lot. So just trying to nail him down. He's actually the one that knew my buddy who knew Chris Kyle, American Sniper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but on the bookshelf back behind me is a copy, but it's a personalized copy that he had Chris Kyle like actually sign to me. And he gave it to me like 1 year for Christmas.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That's super cool.
Yeah, he's just a super cool dude. I didn't know Chris Kyle, but my buddy, he's just a really cool dude.
Yeah, it's really nice of him, man, to go out of his way to do that. Like,
Oh,
and that's the
absolutely.
kind of people you want in your life that, they just do stuff because they want to, or they want to bring joy to others, or they know somebody would appreciate that gift.
Just good people, good quality people. Yeah, that's the key. Is I would rather have 2 or 3 high quality people in my life than 20 or 30 that are just lukewarm. It's I'm all about quality, not quantity.
Oh, mumbling around, not doing shit.
Oh, dude, it's just there's so many people that are just like fair weather. Whenever everything's great, they're there for you. But anytime that you need them, are they going to be there for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got to have a good support system. Rather have few
Well,
than many.
and be those people's support system as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if they need you, you're there for them.
Yep, exactly.
Mostly,
And speaking of
mostly.
David, he's in the chat. What's up, David?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hey, what's up,
David's daily
David?
market wrap up is at 1 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. And Tuesday and Thursday, he does private live coaching with Ellie. So check that out if you're new to investing in DeFi. And then our music segment, Saturday Night Fever, Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Get your groove on, get your weekend going with some good tunes. The Red Pill, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. That's a little unhinged. We talk about conspiracies, politics, religion, culture, all the
All the good
taboo
stuff.
stuff.
All
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Gaming and chill, Sunday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. is our gaming segment. And now we're starting to launch our Node 24/7 music. The first one's deep ambient techno. So check that out. It's really fucking good. Really good. Good quality tracks.
I'm very impressed. And like I said, it's not even my style of music, but I'm going to be listening to it while I work.
Yeah, super cool, super exciting. We're offering a lot here. And our website, which we're constantly beefing up and improving, the node.pro. Excuse me. We have a lot of educational content on here that doesn't cost a thing. So our DeFi University, Introduction to DeFi, DeFi High School, at Bitcoin University. So there's a bunch of courses, lessons, quizzes, all at no cost to you. So if you're looking to get started, or if you've been in the game for a while and just need to sharpen your skills, because we all need some more leering in our life. No matter the older we get.
And skills with a Z.
Yeah, the skills. I have a particular set of skills
That's
in
right.
investing that I learned from DeFi University and DeFi High School. So
that's right.
The newsletter is fully customizable. Generate your own assets. So we don't pick them for you. You can pick them yourself. And you can even do a preview of the newsletter. Picks ranges, gets market sentiment, inflows, outflows for those assets, news articles, hyperlinks. So you don't have to go searching for hours and hours.
Well, and always use those links and verify the data. You can go through and the links will take you to the the news articles and all the places and things, but always trust but verify.
Yes,
that's why we give you the hyperlinks. That's why we cite our sources. So if there's a news article in the newsletter, it will give you multiple links to different news articles on that topic, so that you can see it's like, yes, this isn't just some dillhole wrote this in a newsletter. It's hey, these are the the verified sources of the information. So if there's a partnership or something like that, somebody launched on Canton, or Ethereum is freaking OnlyFans is getting launched on Ethereum or something like that. Then that hey, if it's coming from good solid sources that you trust, then it's something that you can potentially invest based off of. If it's because if I can say anything on this channel. If I say it with confidence, some people might even believe me. But like I just said that OnlyFans was being launched on Ethereum. If I just blurted that out and like said it in a matter of fact kind of way, that I'm guarantee you there's a couple people who'd see this and fucking post about it on X or something. There's always those people. So you need to be able to verify that information. To be like, man, Mike's full of shit. It's like you got.
But Mike said it. But Mike said
exactly.
it.
It's like Mike's full of shit.
So yeah, check out the newsletter, and that's one way you can support the channel. Also, David offers one-on-one coaching. You can do a discovery call at no cost to you to see if you're ready to take that step. And typically, it's for people with at least a 5-figure portfolio. So also, he would recommend you go through the Leering educational content first, so you are ready to take that next step in the coaching. In our community, we have an amazing community full of awesome degens and like-minded people sharing alpha, sharing memes. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff we're offering in the Discord.
The 4 buttons. Well, not the gold button, but the school, DeFi University School, those 3 live calls that David does every week. Go back up.
That's coming to the Discord.
No, go back up. Scroll back up. There you go. So and then in the Discord, there's a premium channel. So like the entire Discord is no cost, but there is one premium channel, and you can join in there, and you can actually do a no cost, like a 1 week no cost trial if you want to be on 3 of those calls and see what you'd be getting if you paid. Do the no cost trial. But you can do it on on this button if you punch the school, if you punch the Discord, or you punch the YouTube. All of them will have those calls on it. So I highly suggest that you at least try out the no cost. I mean, shit, do it for 7 days. What's the worst that can happen? You might learn some shit.
Yep. Yeah, this is the Discord. Got a lot of good stuff. Each one of the shows has their own channel too. So if you're looking for specific content for those shows, we share it in here as well. And also our store. We got merch coming soon.
No, he has some up.
Oh, he's got some up?
Yeah. Ooh. We got to tweak them, but he's got some up.
Oh, that's sick. The red pill. Yeah. So we got shirts, hoodies,
hats, beanies.
The beanie. I want to get some shot glasses from Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have my friends buy some. Like, you guys got to support
me. But there's D fans. What's D fans?
Huh. Only D fans?
It's true. Well, so you wanted to start out with the news, right?
Yeah, and if you're on Twitter here at the Node_network, follow us on YouTube as well. Jump in the chat and connect with the community. And also on the arena at the only DCA. We can't change it yet, so we're working on that. But yeah. So I guess Base introduced this new agent. I haven't really seen, I haven't dug into it much, but I guess connect your Base account to your agent and use simple prompts to swap, transfer, track your portfolio, and tap into the Base ecosystem from the chat. So I guess it connects to your Base account and gives you a way to take on-chain action using an agent. And I
don't know if that's something I personally would use quite yet.
No.
Some of the stories that I've heard with Claude and going off the fucking hinges, and it's like some of the stuff David tells me about, the newsletter. He'll get it to where it's working perfect and not do anything and tell it don't change anything. And then just randomly, it will freaking, something will stop working. And so he'll go back in and he'll fix it. And then it will just decide, oh, I'm going to do this now. And it's just like, no, I told you don't. And it's like, but I want to. It's like, but I told you not to.
It's tripping, man. It's hallucinating.
No, it does. It hallucinates. It trips out.
Like, did you take my mushrooms?
Right?
Damn it.
Yeah, freaking the computer or the AI's on mushrooms. But
so it has skill plugins for Morpho, Banker, Moonwell, Avantis, Aerodrome, Virtuals, and Uniswap. So it covers lending, swaps, perps, and the newest token and agent launches on Base. So and that was the first thing I thought about was I don't know if I want it to have full control of my wallet like that.
Now, if I gave it control of a separate wallet that was providing certain functions, like, it says that, it looks like it can interact with all those different platforms on Base. And so maybe like in the future, there is an automation that I can do to, to do some kind of looping or arbitrage, interest rate arbitrage that, David teaches about, from different platforms. He was actually looking for one today with Ellie on Hyperliquid. And so, basically he was getting it to where you can lend, in a nutshell, this is like one way you can do it. It's basically you lend at one interest rate and then you borrow at a lower interest rate. So, basically, say you're earning 10%, by lending it out, and you borrow against that for 5%, but you do like a 50% loan to value. And say you do like $100,000. So you take out a $50,000 loan and you're earning 10% on $100,000 and you're only paying 5% on $50,000. So already, you've levered up and you're earning more than the loan is costing you by 5%, roughly. And so it's this arbitrage you can do, and then you can loop that. So then you can take that if you want, you can lever up again. And there's a lot to it. Don't just go out and do this. Please go through DeFi University and learn about looping before you try this. But then you take that 50,000, you lend that out, and maybe you take a 50% loan against that. So you're earning another 10% on the 50,000 that you took a loan out on, and then you go and you lend that out, so you earn 10%. Now you're earning 10% on $150,000, and same thing. You borrow at a 50% loan to value. So now you take out a $25,000 loan, and then you take that and you go and you lend that out, and that's what looping is. Basically it's a borrow lend loop is what you're doing. And it's an arbitrage on the interest rates. So anyway, you were saying.
I haven't seen a lot of places where the borrowing is lower than the lending, the percentage. But you're talking about different protocols, like finding a borrow that's lower on, because on like Aave, for example, let's just throw it out there. I mean, I would see the borrowing rates a little bit higher than the lending. So
it's a game that you have to hunt down, the right ones to loop. And then, like I said, there's a lot to it because you got to take into account, okay, what assets are you lending and borrowing? Because you have to take into account, if you're lending USDC and you take out a loan with Bitcoin and Bitcoin moves, how does that affect your loop? And I'm not going to pretend like I understand all those nuances fully.
More volatile and stuff.
Yes. I mean, David does, and he teaches that stuff. And that's, what the coaching is for. And that's what DeFi, the no cost DeFi University is for. And, that's what the paid, calls, the 3 calls a week is so that if you find opportunities, you have David and a whole network of mentors, because there's usually about like 20 people on the call, like 20, 25 people. And so you have a pool of people that are all, have 5, 6, 7-figure portfolios that are investing, and they're talking about the different strategies and the different positions that they're in. And so if they're successful, the fast track to success is to align yourself with successful people. So that's what I've always done is I'm good at finding people that are good at shit, and I convince them to teach me what it is that they know. through free labor or whatever.
Yeah, I asked David, at what point would that looping strategy be similar to those subprime mortgages in the mid 2000s that crashed the market?
I don't necessarily, unless you were doing it like with meme coins or something like that. But
Yeah, he said
I,
like 40x looping.
yeah, I mean, you'd have to be pretty degen. But those mortgages were a whole nother thing, and I won't get into the nuances of it, but basically it was bundled mortgages, and so they would bundle these fucking shit mortgages that they knew the person because it was subprime mortgages. So basically, people with shitty credit that were being handed loans left and right, and so they would bundle like one or two like good loans with like a bunch of like shit loans. And so it was just this bubble of all it was going to take is one little tip to the economy, and all these people who have just, this shit credit are just going to be like, I'm just going to go rent something. It's like I'm just going to bail on this mortgage because I can't afford it, and that's what happened. And it had this cascading effect. But yeah, was it The Big Short? They that whole movie is about it.
Yeah, that was a good one. So it looks like on this, once this base MCP is installed, you'll be prompted to authenticate with your base account, and your agent can propose actions for you to review and approve. So when your agent wants to make a transaction, it sends you a link. Clicking that link opens your base account in a new window, shows any asset changes in the transaction, and lets you confirm or cancel before any crypto moves. So it seems like they do have some kind of a fail safe in case somebody hacks it. But I'd have to look into the mechanisms and stuff and see if, like, what would happen if somebody compromised your account and all that. But yeah. Oh, and you can build your own skill plugin. Teaches the assistant how to call your protocol's API. Damn. Yeah. So yeah, Base got a whole lot of stuff they're rolling out. People were sad that it wasn't an announcement of their token.
Oh,
it probably never come.
I honestly don't think, and I could be totally wrong, but I don't think they're ever going to launch a base token.
Yeah,
there's no reason.
Very low odds for me.
Well, I mean, what would it be for? It's just, and the base is really trying to position itself to be the institutional blockchain, that where all this institutional DeFi and TradFi rails are going to reside. I mean, Aerodrome is gearing up to go multi-chain, and basically picking all the chains that are being built on for finance. Morpho, it has been making those moves for quite some time. They have a bunch of institutions that curate the vaults on there. You got Avantis. We talked about KTA today. What else? I'm not super bullish on Mammo. I still have my little bag that I had built and I got from the airdrop and all that. I'm still holding on to it, but there's just a lot going on with Base. The X402, this MCP, all these AI agent tools that help AI agents manage your portfolio. At some point, they'll be able to 24/7 monitor the markets for you. It's just there's so much stuff that that they're gearing up that we're starting to see the surface, and that's kind of what this episode's about. Is what's going to pump next? Because we've seen DPIN. Like the past couple of days, we've had the decentralized physical infrastructure like Render and things like that. We've had Hyperliquid, the perp stacks. We've had that pump. Tron just keeps on fucking pumping, and I'll go over some data and show you why here in a minute.
God,
Um,
yeah, that's
dude,
cruising.
yeah. I mean, just up and to the right with that freaking price. I'm glad I got a small bag of it because I was waiting. I've been waiting on not render, on hype, Tron, and there was one other one that I was waiting on to get in, and I got in on two of them. But Hyperliquid, I've been waiting for a pullback, and it just will not pull back.
Dude, no, it's cooking.
But yeah, anyway, back to my original point. Base is making all the moves to be the institutional blockchain, in my opinion. But what else
Yeah.
you got?
I don't know if you guys talked about this. The New York lawsuit seeks ownership of 39,000 dormant Bitcoin wallets.
I bet they do.
Including addresses linked to Satoshi and the Mt. Gox hacker.
Well, freaking that Mondani or whatever his name is, the freaking dude that promised everything was going to be free to get elected. Yeah, it's like he like freaking forced all the successful people out, so he's got to figure out a way to come up with money. He just charged Jeff Bezos freaking like $9 million for supposedly the Amazon distribution centers polluting or something. Basically, just he's trying to generate money any way he can because that freaking place, I can only imagine the deficit that they're in. Because anybody with money, they got out because he started trying to do that socialist shit that they love to tax the rich, fair share stuff. So they just went to Florida and Texas. They were like, all right, we're out. He has Hollywood celebrities turning on his ass. Like I saw this one article where Zoolander, what's his name?
Ben Stiller, yeah.
Yeah, Ben Stiller like turned on him. He like promoted him and voted for him. And he was like fucking turned on him. So yeah.
These guys are so fucking dumb. Yeah. And Kathy Hochul saying, "Oh, we need to get these people back." Like, oh my god,
dude, she was the one that was just like, "Oh, go ahead, go. We don't need you." And then like a couple of years later, "Please come back, please. I'll be good."
Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, and the last one I got, someone sent 107 Bitcoin worth 8.2 million to a burn address in 5 transactions.
I saw that. I wonder if that was that had to have been on accident.
Man, I don't know, because
dude, we've all done it. I think, like, don't you remember were we doing a DeFi crypto and airdrops when I sent that Matic to the freaking Genesis address?
No, that was you did that before.
Okay.
Yeah,
because it's like, I mean, pretty much everybody's done it. We've all sent crypto to the wrong fucking address.
But this is 5 transactions, though.
Well, if you're just copying and pasting,
if you're just, it's not there yet. It's not there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like maybe it's somebody that bought Bitcoin like forever ago and got out of crypto and doesn't, was all excited. They're like, "Oh fuck, I found my password to get into my Bitcoin that I lost access to forever ago, or I found the thumb drive that it was on or whatever, and got in there and they were like click, and it Bitcoin mainnet takes a long fucking time." So they were like, "Oh shit, it didn't go anywhere. Let me try it again. Let me try it again." That's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah, this is weird because there's the 5 transactions, 20 Bitcoin, 28.8, 36.7, 1.4, and 20. But they're all like times.
I wish they would have accidentally put my fucking wallet address.
Hey, right? But the timestamps are the same time.
What's that?
The timestamps are all the same time. So it wasn't like 5 separate over the course of like minutes. It was like, how?
That's weird.
Might have to ask David about that one because that's so.
I don't know. Somebody probably intentionally burned someone else's Bitcoin. All right, you're gonna have to explain that one. How the hell are people burning other people's Bitcoin?
You burn my Bitcoin, and we go. There's them fighting words, man.
And we'll be 10 toes. We'll be touching 10 toes.
We're gonna be burning something other than Bitcoin. It might be you.
Man, I'll scuff my knuckles up. It's gonna go down.
Yeah.
But all right. So let's take a look at. Let's do this. Come on. There he is. Nope. All right, there we go. Let me share my screen. Doo-ba-doo. Come on, you can do it. All right, let's start with this. You can do it. All right, so we're just going to go over some data porn here and look at what is going on with the different chains. So let's start out with DeFi Llama is one of my go-tos. RWA.xyz and DeFi Llama are two of the platforms that don't cost anything, that give some great data points. So one of the things, if you dig deep into DeFi Llama, there's all kinds of freaking sexy stuff here. But if you go to these custom dashboards, one of the ones that I like to go to is the DEX leaders. So it will give you the volume for all the major platforms like Uniswap, Aerodrome, PancakeSwap, Fluid. It will give you the volume comparison. So what are the different volumes? Fee comparison. What each chain is earning in fees. Each day. Or each week. The revenue comparison. So like the revenue generated, the TVL comparison. So this shows you basically the flows. This shows you how the money is moving. That is what is key to understanding what's going to pump next. The title of this show. You do to listen to the narratives. You do want to listen to the hype. This market is still very much a emotionally driven retail market for the most part, because when you see some of this stuff pump that has terrible tokenomics, it's obviously not big money that's buying it, because they're not going to buy a governance token. They're not going to buy a cheap gas token. That's the extent of the tokenomics. They're buying stuff like hype. And I'll show you the data that shows it here in a second. They're buying projects like Canton Network. They're building on Canton Network. There's certain projects that they are investing heavily in. Ethereum. They're building heavily on Ethereum. Watch where the money goes. They tip their hand. All you have to do is just buy and sit on your hands. It is the easiest play possible. It's just having the discipline to do it. So, Jeff, what are you seeing?
I mean, I haven't really been looking at any of the inflow or outflows. And yeah, One Arm Bandit, we appreciate you tuning in.
One Arm Bandit actually had some good alpha earlier, on some of the other shows, and I believe it was yesterday too. So yeah, no, One Arm Bandit, good to see you in the chat, man.
Yeah, I've been kind of out of the markets and not really even in DeFi and stuff.
Have you started DCAing in yet?
Not yet.
What are you eyeballing? Are you eyeballing? Like, maybe we can help you out. Maybe we can make this your shopping research. So what are you eyeballing?
Canton.
Good choice.
I need to get my my Windows.
The Canton 1941.
The Canton, yeah.
Oh, here you go. The Canton 1941. Would you like that vintage?
It's straight from Israel. No.
Yeah. No. What else? Canton. What else?
I mean, I want to have a DGen bag of Plume just because I like the project, but the tokenomics, after you guys doing that deep dive, was kind of troubling.
On which one?
Plume.
Oh,
So
no, the thing is the project Plume is solid, and
yeah,
I
tokenomics.
the tokenomics aren't perfect, but I don't mind the tokenomics because part of the ecosystem, there is plenty of opportunities to earn with the token. So, the fact that the token is needed, to operate on the network is, for me, is enough. Do your own research. For me, that's enough because I know the potential and I've experienced the potential. When you first pointed out Plume to us, when you were looking at farming the airdrop,
yeah,
me, you, and a lot of the community made a decent amount of money. My brother made $30,000
yep.
off
Yeah.
of that massive yield that we were earning for. It was a couple months. It was like 2 months or something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, it was quite a well. Yeah, for that short period of time.
Well,
Yeah, your
where we
brother.
were making like where we were making like 3,000% APY or some shit.
Yeah, that was a couple months. Yeah, it
Yeah,
didn't last
and then
long,
there
but
and then it did
long
go
enough.
down. It went down to like around 100. I think it was 100% APY for a while, and then just after October 10th, it just dried up.
Yeah, yeah, your brother crushed it, man. That's good
No,
to see.
yeah, I don't know what data he was looking at, but Taylor is really good at getting in and out of the markets at just the right time. He'll get into the market, make a bunch of money, and then he'll get out into fiat, and he'll wait. And then when he sees another opportunity, he gets in, he makes his money, he gets out, and he waits. He's really, really good at that. We should actually have him on the show and talk about how he makes his decisions.
That would be valuable. That would be really valuable. Yeah, because he's good at it. He's definitely good at it.
Oh, check out One Armed Bandit. Says Sat Layer just went up 92,000% for me. I went from 10 cents to $93. That's cool. It's like penny stocks or something like that. What are you
Oh my
doing?
god, that's
Don't be
crazy.
crazy. Don't be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, is there any way to earn a good yield on hype?
You can stake it and earn a bit. Obviously, holding it, you can earn quite a bit. The programmatic buybacks that they do, it's makes it very advantageous to just buy and hold. But yeah, you can stake it. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do with it.
Now, is a VVV or virtuals? You guys going to do a deep dive on those projects?
Possibly. It's VVV is definitely pumped, and I tried to use it today to do some research for the morning show. I
Okay.
wasn't super impressed with now the text, the research aspect. It actually did a pretty good job, and I liked how it formatted the information a lot more than Gemini. But images, it sucked at images.
Dog shit.
It was I tried to get it to generate a thumbnail for the show. Gemini is head and shoulders better than VVV when it comes to that. It was kind of cool though because it looked like VVV allows you to use a lot of the major like Grok and a lot of the major AIs. It lets you use all of those. So like for $18 a month, for the paid one, you get the premium version of a bunch of different AIs. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay. Oh, Bandit, I stake Seeker on my Solana Seeker phone and get 18.6 APY. Yeah, how do you like that Seeker phone?
David got one, and he said the second one was shit.
I know the first one, man, people were getting crazy airdrops.
Oh, they got that bonk airdrop. I remember when Nick DeMonte over at Blockchain Basement. I remember that he got one and was showing it on air and stuff like that. And for having the phone, he got that bonk airdrop. And I don't know, if he sold it or whatever, but there was a point to where that airdrop was worth some money.
Oh, it paid for all those airdrops paid for the phone tenfold.
Oh, plus
I think.
Plus
yeah, it was crazy.
If you sold it at the right time, that is.
If you sold it.
Yeah. So this is some of the data that I'm looking at. So we got Uniswap V4 volume. Looks like it's about 815 million. So up about 20%. Aerodrome Slipstream is 650 million, and that's up 131%. That's what I'm talking about. That volume, freaking Aerodrome has a solid pump on the amount of volume. So, that's something to keep an eye on, as far as how the money's moving. Pancake Swap, V3, you have 504 million. So only up 41%. And then you have Fluid. So hyperfluid or hyperfluid.
Fluid.
For some reason that sounded weird.
Superfluid?
No, Hype.
Oh, Hype. Okay.
Yeah. It's Dex Fluid up 110%. Oh. So also really strong surge in Dex volume. So that shows you where a lot of money's moving. That's just one data point. Now you can scroll down. You have your volume kind of profile here. The bar chart, and it's color coded where you got Uniswap in green. You have in orange. You have Slipstream, Aerodrome, Pancake Swap in purple, and so you can get a visual representation of what it is that is going on. Sometimes can be confusing for some people to just look at numbers and percentages. So sometimes it's cool to look at charts, pie charts and stuff like that. It's very easy to digest information. You have fees. Uniswap V4 is crushing it with the fees. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just beautiful. And Slipstream, it's not looking too hot on fees, but up here, it had a massive surge in volume, but it's not earning as strong as fees as Uniswap. Granted, Uniswap is multi-chain. Aerodrome for the most part is just on base. Got to take that into account. That's about to change. Revenue comparison. You look at how much revenue. So you have Aerodrome is crushing it with revenue. And the revenue is what Aerodrome uses to do buybacks. 100% of revenue is either paid out to the Arrow stakers, the VE Arrow holders, or it is used to buy Arrow and max lock it, basically burn it. So that is strong for the Aerodrome token. And we've seen that in the price movement recently. It was down in the 30s. It's gone up into the 40s. At one point, started tipping into the 50s, the 50-cent range. So that could be a contributing factor. That's the importance of data. You have the TVL. So obviously Uniswap being multi-chain is going to have a massive amount of TVL. Aerodrome just being base, it's still doing a really good job. You have Aerodrome at about 200 million, Pancake Swap at about 300 million, and Uniswap is at roughly 620 million. So, yeah, no, it's just these are all great data points. So, I mean, do you use data like this when you're looking at potentially what to invest in or where to put your liquidity to earn or anything? I mean, do you use this stuff at all?
When I was deep in when I had some bags last year before I got out, I was using it, and especially when we were on the show, diving into this stuff every episode, it was very helpful. just to get an idea of where liquidity was flowing, how much TVL was locked up, when TVL was exiting, and then you're like, okay, did something happen? Was there a hack? Or it's good to know, because you can actually see, like, it's transparent. It's not like the bank's hiding shit to where you don't know what's going on. Especially if you're your own money, man, you want to know all the data, or as much data as you.
Dude, these are tools that institutions for decades have spent millions and millions and millions of dollars a year to have access to. I mean, and we have this for free. To be able to see how the money's moving, before moves are made, to be able to see that a large institution or a large amount of Bitcoin got moved to an exchange, is valuable data. Understanding that if somebody is moving a large amount of any token to an exchange, chances are they're about to sell. They don't move it there to buy more of it. They move it there to sell it. And if they're moving it to a protocol, a decentralized exchange, maybe they're looking to do like a DeFi play with it or something like that. But chances are, if it's going to someplace like Coinbase or something, like that, or Kraken, or one of those, chances are it's about to get sold. So knowing that a big amount of a token is about to get sold is the same thing as knowing when what is that called? The vesting period for tokens, when there's going to be an unlock. Thank you.
Yeah.
Knowing when there's going to be an unlock, because almost guaranteed that VCs, when there's an unlock, they're going to be selling that shit. They want to get their money back. I know how VCs operate. I've worked with VCs, not as like a VC, but I've worked with startups, and so I've had a lot of meetings with different venture capitalists, individuals, and groups, and I know how they think. I know the questions they ask. I know they're hit it and quit it. They want to get in early on solid projects. They want to make their nut, and they want to cash out and move on to the next one. They're not long-term investors for the most part. They're looking to get a quick return on investment. So, they're kind of like the meme coin, traders of crypto. That's kind of what the VCs are. The early investors. That's what a lot of them are.
That makes sense. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
pretty funny.
No, I mean, that's what VCs do. Is they want to make a quick buck. They just want to be constantly moving. They don't want money sitting still. All right. So basically, this is the custom dashboards. So you have like a wallets overview. You have a revenue heavy hitters. You have the Hyperliquid ecosystem, so we can look at all the key metrics and charts and protocols that are on Hyperliquid. The stablecoin tracker, DEX leaders, the one we just looked at, the top L1 chains, Ethereum versus 4 competitors. These are all different, bundles of data that you can look at. Perps volumes, the Perps dashboard. There's a bunch of different stuff that we can look at. Let's look at, let's look at the Hyperliquid ecosystem, because this thing's been pumping. And a lot of liquidity is flowing to it. I might just have to buy some fucking Hyperliquid and just suck it up and buy at all-time highs. All right. So that's the Hyperliquid Layer 1 TVL is currently at, so the L1 stable coins is at 7 billion. The L1 volume is at 4 billion. The L1 TVL is at 1 billion, and the revenue is at about 2 million. So this is showing Hyperliquid holders revenue. That took a freaking dive right there. What's up with that? It went from 14 million to 1 million. Oh, that's something to take notice of. What do we got here?
David said, don't do that. Don't buy it all
Oh
the time.
yeah, you know I won't. You know I won't. But holy shit, it's like I've been sitting back just watching that thing just keeps pumping. I'm just like, man. So freaking massive on the 18th of May. So about a weekish ago, freaking look at the stablecoin inflows. There was 1.26 billion dollars of stablecoin inflow on Hyperliquid. Strong TVL. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, this is just some of the some of the platforms that I use, and then of course you got CoinGlass. So CoinGlass is another great one that you can look, and like this one, looking at derivatives, but you can look at the volume. So like whatever the current volume is, and then you can also look at the percentage change of the volume over the past 24 hours. So if you're looking to see where the interest is, it's, I mean, hell, like look at this, freaking 74% on XAU. Isn't that tokenized gold or something?
XAU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, like, Zcash. I mean, that one is one to keep an eye on as well. Me personally, I got a couple $1,000s in dry powder that I have sitting on the side, and I'm just waiting for a pullback on a good project. Something like Cardano or XRP.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
good pullback on those, and I'm all in, baby.
You make me milk.
Right. So no, if like if ETH has a strong pullback, if Bitcoin has a strong pullback, I'll definitely be buying. Hype, I'll definitely be buying. Near, I actually bought a very small bag of Near. It was just a couple $100, but I actually bought back into Near because
Wow.
if it even goes back to its all-time highs, I'm wanting to say it's around a 10x. And so I put a couple $100 in, and if I can turn it into a couple thousand, I'll cash out. I've told myself I'm looking to get a 10x on my portfolio. If I can get a 10x on my portfolio, I'm in the stable coins and Bitcoin. My treasury is built, and whatever yield I can generate off of it is what I'll use to rebuild a new alts portfolio.
Damn, Near's had a nice pump the past few weeks.
Yeah, we did a deep dive on it because there's been some changes. They've been quietly building.
That's good. That's good because there's been quite a few projects lately that have been shifting or making changes because I'm sure that they see things shifting and you got to pivot, adjust
Yeah.
tokenomics, just your protocol, you got to adapt. And if you're not adapting and building, you're going to get left behind.
Yep. You know what? If Aster didn't have the shit tokenomics, and if like 95% of the tokens wasn't held by like a handful of wallets, I would buy Aster right now. But because of those two things I just mentioned, I wouldn't touch this with somebody else's wallet. It's just dirty.
Right now, it's
I look at Aster, and it's like two girls, one cup. That's what I look at when I look at Aster.
Except swapping out the soft serve with real shit.
Yeah, and not to say that it can't pump. We've all seen tokens with shitty tokenomics that have pumped, but it's pure speculation. It's pure hype and pure speculation. And honestly, there's a lot of projects out there that when people wake up, and they actually learn the tokenomics and they actually learn, about the underlying, company and what they're building, and if they're actually building anything, if anybody's actually using their products or services, if they're generating revenue, if they're generating fees, what they're doing with those fees or that revenue. Are they buying back the token, burning it like hype, like Aerodrome? What are they doing with it? These are all the things that you need to focus on, if you're going to buy into this stuff. And honestly, if you're buying based off the things that I'm talking about right now, long term, you're going to have no guarantee, but you're going to have a much better chance of hitting a winner. If you're buying a token that has solid tokenomics, that actually the fees and the revenue go back to token holders in some way through programmatic burns or buybacks, whatever, you're going to have a much better chance of price go up for your token. If you are investing in those tokens and there's something like hype, where there's a highly successful, highly profitable perps dex behind it, chances are you're going to do well. Aerodrome, same thing. I know David loves to talk shit about it. I think honestly, it's just to get a rise out of me, but it's all good. But no, I don't get bent out of shape about anything. But I think he just takes enjoyment in it.
It's good fun.
No, it is. It really is. But and I do it to him too. I like to poke the bear. So no, it's just, but finding these projects with solid tokenomics that are generating revenue and fees. Canton Network, another one. It's not a guarantee. There's still a lot to be discovered when it reaches equilibrium. When that burn starts outpacing the mint. What that's going to do is pure speculation. It could do nothing. It could send Canton to the fucking moon. We don't know. But it's a solid project. The company is doing banger business. They're earning like $2-3 million a day in fees. It's highly profitable. And what they're doing with those fees is bullish. So understanding the tokenomics, understanding what it means to hold the token and the connection of that token to the products and services, the business, the fees, and the revenue, all that stuff that I keep talking about. I can't stress this enough. Find these projects, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be the ones I mentioned. Go out and find the ones that make sense to you. Sit on your hands and just wait. That is the biggest flex that you can do, is find strong projects, invest in them, stay knowledgeable about them, and sit on your hands and do nothing. It's how I made money on XRP and XLM and all those, is at the time they were the best ones out there. Because a lot of these newer projects weren't around. They were those dino tokens that everybody was just waiting for that narrative to pump, and it did. And I sold them, and I got into new projects. I got into Aerodrome. I'm trying to get into. I got into some Tron. I'm trying to get into hype. I'm trying to get into the new family of tokens that I see as being bullish for this next bull market. But all right, I've yammered on enough. Jeff, what do you got to say on this topic, and what are your closing thoughts?
Oh no, I was looking at Aerodrome because I was wondering if they posted anything about or hinted at their tokenomics or anything that they have coming up, because I know we're a little over a month away from the launch of the new platform, and they had a Spaces today with their first virtuals launch on Aerodrome. So XMA Queena, reclaiming the robotics capital market.
Ex McQueena?
Ex McQueena?
sounds like a like some chick's name either in Utah. She's either Mormon or she's black. One of the two.
Ex McQueena.
Ex
What's up,
McQueena.
girl?
Mormons are weird like that too. They like to come up with weird ass names for their kids.
Yeah, so they had this their first launch today. So I didn't know that this is their first virtuals launch. Funny enough that we were talking about it earlier. So yeah, I'm gonna check this out later tonight and see what it's all about.
Well,
do the hokey pokey.
You were saying before we went live, or no, you said it while we were live that you're going to start posting the deep dives to the library.
Yeah. So the videos I did over the weekend, I started implementing, what David's been doing with those deep dives, the Notebook LM stuff with the video and slide deck. So I started doing that, and because I was like, yeah, that would be great to incorporate these projects, that I'm doing deep dives on that are brand new or don't have a token yet, and that aren't even in the top 1,000 probably. So having those resources available too would be great.
You're really good. You're really good at finding those early projects. Just from your experience with airdrop farming, it's just you're really good at finding those. So no, I think that would be hugely valuable. And I know we all talked that me, you, and David talked about it. And at least for now, we're going to launch it, and it's going to be no cost. I can't stress enough. I hope that you're all out there taking advantage of DeFi University. I mean, the no cost, like comprehensive education with, the tests, checks on learning, quizzes, video content, slide decks. I mean, you're not going to find a better education system out there for crypto and DeFi. And definitely not one that costs you nothing. I guarantee you, I challenge you, please go out there and find one that's better, that doesn't charge. I dare say that there's ones that aren't as good that people are paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for. But having the library, the deep dives, the research that David does on the second half of the Node show, and the early projects that Jeff is able to find, again, gonna just insanely valuable. So there's a lot of stuff here. And then of course we got the entertainment stuff, the red pill where we just get drunk and talk shit, and freaking the new music channel, and crypto, and gaming and chill, just all the different channels that we have. So there's a little something for everybody here. But
education, entertainment, and fun.
Absolutely. Well, anything else before we go, brother?
Catch the morning show tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And get ready for more music that we're pumping out. And gaming and chill tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific.
It's true. It's true. And if Ellie and Jay aren't able to make it, I think I might stream Sniper Elite. So I downloaded Sniper Elite, and pretty cool game, dude. It's like when you do headshots and stuff, it follows the bullet in slow motion, and then it will like show a picture of your target, and it will do like this X-ray, and it shows like their skeleton and like all their internal organs, and it shows the bullet going through, and like the trauma that it does to the dude. It's pretty graphic, man. But like when you do a headshot, I mean, they just go like ragdoll, and it's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I might be live streaming that, but like it's something that we can multiplayer as well, to where it's something that like me, you, and David could play together, or if Ellie and Jay want to join us, where a bunch of us could play.
Ooh, fuck! That sounds awesome, man. The realistic stuff, man. That's where it's at. You want to see it, not the hokey stuff.
Well, and it's a lot more chill. It's a lot more chill than Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is like so freaking chaotic. You know, the sniper elite. You know, you're trying to sneak around and you take your shots and it's I don't know. For me, it's a lot more fun. You know, I
Dude,
like the slower pace.
I love Metal Gear Solid. Did you ever play that?
I did back in the day. Where the
Yeah,
sneaking around and try not to get
yeah.
detected and all that. Yeah, pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah, David, if you want to download it, I downloaded it for free off of my Xbox account. Because I to play online, to play Xbox online, you got to pay for that membership each month, and part of that is what is it called? Oh, Game Pass. Part of that's Game Pass,
mhm.
and so I got Sniper Elite for free.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, I downloaded it on my laptop, and there's a new one called Heat. What's this? Oh, dude, a tank game.
I was gonna say, is it like the movie Heat? That was fucking good.
No. Here, hold on. I'll share my screen. We'll check this out real quick. Here.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen here. Listen here, see?
man.
All right. Yeah, check this out.
Show you the most.
So, yeah, Heat. Let's see what this is.
World of Tanks.
See, World of Tanks. I freaking love World of Tanks, dude. Yeah, dude, World of Tanks is cool. This is another one I wouldn't
Fuck.
mind playing.
Damn. That looks really good. Woo.
Dude, this looks cool.
Oh man, what was the old school game? Battle Tanks? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, dude, a world of battleships, a world of tanks, and I think they had one for planes too. The plane one I wasn't too hot on, but yeah, dude, if you guys want to download World of Tanks, freaking, we could play that, all on the same team as well, and communicate and coordinate and stuff like that. That might be a cool
Oh,
one to
dude.
for all of us to play too, because that's the other thing about arc raiders is only 3 people at a time can play. So like World of Tanks, I could play it alone and stream, or 2 of us, or 5 of us, or even more could freaking all play at the same time.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah, that reminds me of there's a game back in the 90s called Battle Tanks. And you go around like
Yeah,
that, but this looks so fucking way better.
yeah. No, World of Tanks. I've played it quite a bit actually. I should open my account and like
Ooh.
after we get done with the stream, maybe I'll log on to it. But yeah, I've leveled up a bunch of my tanks. I got a bunch of badass freaking artillery pieces and tanks.
Ooh.
So anyway, we'll talk about it more. I definitely want to find a game that more than just 3 of us can play. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of over arc raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, it just man, the whole fucking rats just
Well, just and to each their own. There's people that enjoy that, but it's for me. I don't want to spend 30 minutes, freaking running around, getting loot, only to freaking have somebody waiting for me at the extract to kill me
Yeah.
and take my shit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, sometimes I kill them and get their stuff, but you know, World of Tanks, it's just you go log in, you play. If you get blown up, you know, you freaking come back next game and play again. You know, it's like freaking. It's not like you lose everything. It's not like when you get blown up, you know, you lose, you know, all your progress. It just sucks to lose your progress.
Yeah. Don't like that wasted time.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us an extra 15 minutes. But anyway, have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you at the morning show. Till next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Well, peace out.